هدول الأشخاص نحن بدنا نحاسبهم، لهيك موجود القانون، حتى هدول الأشخاص اللي عايشين برفاهية رح يتحاسبوا، والشعب الفقير يحصل على مساعدات ويحصل على حقه من جديد. قانون قيصر بذاته ما بيأثر على المدنيين السوريين بأي طريقة سلبية، وإنما الشيء اللي بيأثر على المدنيين هو تعامل النظام السوري مع قانون قيصر.
They did not tell Jason to either freeze, put your hands up. They didn't give him the chance to surrender. So I guess the car had went backwards, hitting James Belay. James Belay took it as a trigger, he's about to kill me, and that's when the shots have been fired. They were shooting to kill.
Hello, my name is Stanley Heller. Welcome to The Struggle. The acronym ADL stands for the Anti-Defamation League. It's a group that was set up over 100 years ago to defend Jews from slander and attacks. But at some point, the group lost its way and decided that its primary mission was to be a 200% defender of Israel. In the 1990s, it had to pay big bucks to settle lawsuits from activists because the ADL had spied on a whole range of activists for the benefit of Israel. In recent years, it decided it should get involved in police training. And so it brings police to one of the biggest human rights violators on the planet, Israel, to get training. This week, the head of the ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt, wrote a tweet of solidarity with the black community after the killing of George Floyd. He was answered by Stephanie Fox of Jewish Voice for Peace with a meme, "Now would be a good time for the ADL to stop arranging police exchanges with Israel." A quick search turned up Israeli training for Minneapolis police. In 2012, 100 Minneapolis police were trained by Israelis at a session in Chicago. In 2017, the sheriff for the county that Minneapolis is in went to Israel for training, apparently paid for by the Jewish Institute for the National Security of America. JINSA is another 200%er group. Now, obviously, U.S. police didn't need Israel to teach them brutality. They have a long record of that. But what they did learn, according to Peace News columnist Jeff Halper, was how to make police forces more like the military and how to see all minorities as potential enemies. As states hopefully reform or replace police, they should make sure by law that there are no further police trainings by Israel. I recently gave a Zoom talk about my newest book, Zionist Betrayal of Jews, to folks in Maine. The whole event from the beginning to the Q&A at the end lasted about 70 minutes. If you'd like me to give a talk to you and your political associates, just contact me at mail@thestruggle.org. The Zionists keep playing the same tune. Just this week, Facebook dropped a political ad that symbolized the left in this country by using a red triangle, the same symbol that the Nazis used in the concentration camps to mark leftist prisoners. From the ADL, mild concern. After 9 years of horrors in Syria, a law was passed by the U.S. Congress to punish the Syrian regime, and it just took effect. It's called the Caesar Law, named after a former Syrian prison guard who smuggled out hundreds of horrific pictures of what goes on in Syrian prisons. Now, sanctions can be cruel and hurt the people the most. Recall the murderous sanctions the U.S. levied on Iraq during the 1990s and early 2000s that resulted in perhaps 1 million Iraqis dead. The Syria sanctions were supposedly crafted to only punish Assad and his collaborators. The following was created by Syrian supporters of the sanctions.
كيف سيؤثر قانون قيصر على المدنيين في سوريا؟ خلينا نبلش بالوضع الاقتصادي بسوريا. أكثر من 80% من الشعب السوري عايش تحت خط الفقر بسبب سوء إدارة النظام والمشاكل الداخلية للنظام السوري والسرقة والنهب اللي عم يصير، بالإضافة ل9 سنين من الحرب استنزفت الاقتصاد السوري، وإضافة لهالشيء خلافات من رامي مخلوف مع الحكومة السورية. حاليا رامي سحب الدولار من السوق، ارتفع الدولار وصارت كارثة وأزمة اقتصادية عالية والشعب جاع. من أهم التفاصيل الموجودة بقانون قيصر أنه القانون بيستثني العقوبات على المواد الغذائية أو الأدوية وكل الحاجات الضرورية للشعب السوري، لأنه قانون قيصر أساسا موجود ليحمي ويقوي ويساعد الشعب السوري الموجود تحت خط الفقر، مو ليعذب الشعب السوري. حتى أنه قانون قيصر ما بيمنع حتى النظام السوري من شراء المعدات الطبية أو المواد الغذائية، لأنه هدفنا هو مو معاقبة المدنيين. هدف القانون هو معاقبة الفاسدين، معاقبة النظام السوري على ارتكاب المجازر، استخدام أمواله لشراء قنابل، شراء طيران حتى يقصف شعبه المسكين. لكن السؤال المهم هو إذا النظام السوري رح يستخدم الأموال اللي باقية عنده لحتى يشتري أدوات طبية ومواد غذائية ليساعد الشعب الموجود بسوريا المؤيدين خلينا نقول، ولا رح يستخدم هدول المصريات الباقيين حتى يشتري طيران. النظام ما صار له زمان يشتري طيارات ميج 29، ما رح يستخدم إلا يعني طيارات ما رح تطير وتقصف مساعدات للشعب، إنما الطيران رح يروح ويقصف يموت الشعب المسكين الموجود حاليا غالبا بإدلب وبدير الزور. هدف القانون هو معاقبة النظام السوري اقتصاديا، محاصرته ومحاسبة هدول الفاسدين يلي عايشين، رامي مخلوف، سامر الفوز أو أشخاص ثانيين موجودين بسوريا يلي كل ما زادت الحرب بسوريا كل ما عم يغنوا هدول الأشخاص نحن بدنا نحاسبهم. لهيك موجود القانون، حتى هدول الأشخاص اللي عايشين برفاهية رح يتحاسبوا والشعب الفقير يحصل على مساعدات ويحصل على حقه من جديد. قانون قيصر بذاته ما بيأثر على المدنيين السوريين بأي طريقة سلبية، وإنما الشيء اللي بيأثر على المدنيين هو تعامل النظام السوري مع قانون قيصر. إذا النظام السوري استخدم اقتصاده بطريقة تفيد الشعب، وهذا الشيء نحن ما متعودين عليه أبدا، لأنه النظام هذا ابن حرام صار له عم يقتل الناس 9 سنين، وصار له عم يقتل الناس من قبل هال9 سنين الثورة يعني، فالنظام ما في أمل إنه يستخدم أمواله بطريقة. يعني هذا القانون بغض النظر هو قانون إنساني موجود لدعم الشعب السوري بشكل إنساني بشكل راقي، لأنه أساسا هذا القانون مبني على 55,000 صورة لناس ماتت تحت التعذيب، مبني على شهادات معتقلين، مبني على الناس ما عندها هم إلا أنه تحسن الوضع بسوريا ويسقط هالنظام السوري وتجينا حكومة بيقبل فيها الشعب. النظام السوري فائق المهارة بالكذب، ولحد هلا النظام السوري مو انه ما بيعترف انه في تعذيب بالسجون السورية، وانما اصلا ما بيعترف انه في معتقلين وفي معتقلات سوريين موجودين. فالنظام السوري حاليا عم يستخدم اكذوبة انه قانون قيصر رح يدمر الاقتصاد السوري ويأثر على الناس بالجوع. خطأ. قانون قيصر بضر النظام السوري، عقوبات على النظام السوري والناس اللي عم تساعد اشخاص، دول وشركات، هيئات، مؤسسات عم تدعم النظام السوري، هدول بيتم معاقبتهم. ليش؟ لانه عم يدعموا النظام السوري من ناحيه اسلحه، طاقه، اي شيء عم يستخدم النظام السوري ليقتل الشعب.
In Bridgeport, Connecticut, Jason's Abolition Camp has formed outside the police station. The Justice for Jason Committee has been working for 3 years after a policeman shot dead a young man named Jason Negron, who reportedly had taken a car. A state prosecutor decided not to indict any police officer. I interviewed one of the people at the camp.
My name is Thalia. I'm 22. I'm originally from Bridgeport. I'm just over the border in Stratford. I was in Bridgeport Public Schools. I definitely knew Jason. I really don't like what's going on as a whole. It's not even just Jason. It's just like throughout the United States, even in other countries, just like everything's just so negative once you step out your own house. And I just really want to help the community, help us stop it, help like educate like everybody that's here. We're all united as one family. We're really just trying to just put a stop so everybody could live like a happy life.
We've covered the story of Jason Negron before, but could you remind viewers what it's all about?
Okay, so essentially, first and foremost, Jason Negron, he was 15 years old. He was murdered by Bridgeport police officer James Belay. Also, AJ Perez has lied to the family of Jason, saying that he died instantly. There was a video of a bystander that had went viral, and it showed otherwise. And it's incidents like that they try to cover up.
Well, you say murdered. Could you give us details? I mean, what was going on that they went after him?
Okay, so how the story had started was I guess they had a call about a police chase. They chased the description of the car in which Jason and another passenger was in. And I guess like they circled around the car, the police officers, including James Belay, that went to the back of the car. I don't know why. They did not tell Jason to either freeze, put your hands up. They didn't give him the chance to surrender. I guess the car had went backwards, hitting James Belay. James Belay took it as like a trigger, like he's about to kill me, and that's when the shots have been fired. They were shooting to kill, intentionally, because they did the upper extremities. If they really wanted to stop the situation, they would just hit an ankle, but they didn't. The situation escalated to a death when it should have been a simple traffic stop.
So what's going on here now? Where are we?
Okay, so we're in front of the Bridgeport police station. Okay. And we're tired of just telling them our demands. They don't want to listen. So now we're occupying the space. We have food going on. We have a medic tech going on. We have welcome stations. We have bathrooms, hand washing, movie nights, the speaker, everything's endless. We try to make it feel at home because there's some people that really don't want to leave, and they're like, this is an open community.
How long has it been going on?
This is day 4. This is day 4 for the people that want to join and fight for justice, not here show up and say that I've been here and you haven't, If you genuinely support abolishing the police, defunding the police, and you're passionate about it like I am or in others, this is the place. But if you're trying to fake it, you gotta get out.
And some people are here overnight?
Oh yeah, we're sleeping overnight. We're waking up here. We got everything from food to mouthwash to sunscreen. We'll be fine here.
Yeah, there's a lot of tents. And
it's like every day a tent gets added. Every day a tent gets added, And for example, there's a tent right there that just got added. That we're trying to occupy this whole space because the more people, the better.
You can see all of the demands of the Abolition Camp at peace.org in the section on police brutality. Now, an interview on June 18th when Connecticut Governor Lamont agreed to hold a special session to consider police brutality issues. I'm speaking with Bishop John Selders of Moral Monday. and we're talking about an action they're doing, a solemn fast for justice. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Brother Stan. I'm glad to be here. And you're correct. We called a fast 11 days ago. We entered this morning, day 11, solemn fast from sunup to sundown. And we had a simple ask that the governor and the leadership of the legislature and the state legislature would come back into session and make their first order of business policing. And we've just gotten word today that a deal is done and that they will be brought back into session in the next few weeks, and we have a date. And so we are calling our fast, and I believe we can claim victory. We've had legislators say, you helped us, and you and the faith leaders that took on the fast helped to create the urgency for what we need to do.
That's great. So how many people were involved? What are some of the names and titles?
Sure. So we were supported by the leadership of the United Church of Christ here in the state of Connecticut. The Reverend Kent Salati joined us, along with the Episcopal Church and the Diocese of Connecticut. Bishop Ian Douglas and Bishop Laura Aarons also joined us. We've had Rabbi Herb Brockman and others from the Jewish community. We've had great support from Dr. Bilal Ansari and Imam Kashif from the Hartford Mosque and the Berlin Mosque, Imam Rafa. And young people joined us and prayed prayers with us. And we had certainly leadership from congregations and faith communities here locally and throughout the state. Reverend Dr. Anthony Bennett from Bridgeport, Mount Airy Church in Bridgeport joined us. So we had a cross-section of lots of folk who joined us on the fast. We even had state legislature officials, State Representative Robin Porter and State Representative Ann Hughes, and of course, State Senator Gary Winfield, who were right here with us and who led the charge.
And where is the here? Did you do it by the Capitol?
We were on the grounds. We, for 11 days, were here on the Capitol grounds from about 8 in the morning till sunset.
What's it like fasting all day?
Yeah, well, fasting is fasting. I grew up with it in my Christian community roots. Fasting was an important faith piece for us, and so it was like revisiting my roots in a certain kind of way.
But did you ever do it so many days?
Oh, sure. I've done fasts, 20-day fast, 40-day Daniel fast. I've done a myriad of different fasting. So I guess I've lived a fasted life, one might be able to say. But certainly fasting in all kinds of ways, in the more traditional ways, eating and drinking, and then, of course, in other kinds of ways, during periods of Lent and Advent in the Christian tradition, oftentimes where fasting is used. But I've also, we've never done one here quite in this way. Fasting is also used as a political tool. And, Mahatma Gandhi probably is the most famous one, but Dr. King and folk in the civil rights movement as well joined in on fast at particular times and hunger strikes and other kinds of tools. Cesar Chavez and Dorothy Day. And so it's been used as well as a political tool. And we were leaning into our faith, but also certainly responding in this Black Lives Matter moment, what it might mean to ask for something politically to happen and to have God's hand on it. And we believe that this was the time now to do it and that God has helped us.
The last question was, what things would you hope the legislature would pass in terms of police brutality issues?
Well, we want a full authority conversation. Over the last several years, we've been dancing around legislation around police accountability. Again, State Senator Gary Winfield has led the charge, and State Representative Robin Porter. They've been engaged in lots of conversations, lots of different and varied reactions and responses to police accountability. and they've gotten some things passed. They've gotten some nominal work done. Now it's time, I believe, that a full-throated conversation can be had about some of the things that maybe haven't been able to get done now might be able to get done because of what we're doing now.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your report here and the success that has been achieved.
Thank you very much, Sam. Appreciate the call and the ask.
Now, we in Connecticut have a couple weeks to consider what we should be asking from our representatives. Go big and call on the legislature to do things like demilitarize police forces, allow ex-prisoners to vote even if they don't have enough money to pay outstanding fines, eliminate school mascots of Native American imagery, ban police from roles as educators or guidance counselors, pay for community safety programs instead of policing. You just heard my interview with Bishop John Selders. He'll be one of the speakers at the virtual rally that will accompany the car caravan on Friday, June 26th, that will circle the Deep building in Hartford. People in the car caravan will meet at a lot on Linden Street just before 3 p.m. More details at the Facebook page, Stop the Fracked Gas Power Plant! Now from a very large protest march in New Haven, one demand of which was defund the Yale Police. Now, it's great to see the Black Lives Matter uprising, mainly young people. But we elders wanted to be supporters too. But we're rightfully fearful of COVID. So several people organized a rally for elders, where social distancing was actually practiced. Barbara Fair was one of the speakers at the event.
And I just wanted to make people aware of one thing. And it's not a lash out, but just know when we talk about COVID and how we have to stand our distance and all of that stuff, our people have been dying for 401 years in America, and COVID had nothing to do with it. I can barely breathe now, and it's not because of COVID. It's because of all the stuff that I've been seeing going on around me since I was a little girl. And so I come here with a heavy heart. Is this reaching out? Yes. So I come here today with a heavy heart, a heart weighed down with all the blatant injustices happening around me that I have survived in all these years in Connecticut, a deeply racist and segregated state. I come here with a soul on fire, not because I watched the video of George Floyd, because I didn't. I haven't watched one since I watched Eric Garner get killed on national TV. I can't continue to watch that stuff because they go to deeply to my soul. So, though many people are fired up about George Floyd, I've had a fire in me long before George Floyd.
And lastly, we need to be clear that this is not just a moment, although it is that. And I hope and pray it's a tipping point for a radical and long overdue sea change. But it's not just a moment, this is a movement. And we need to be clear.
That's our program for today. Stay safe, but stay active. I'm Stanley Heller for The Struggle.